My name is Josh Beck, owner of Countryside Gunsmithing LLC. Me and my business are greatly honored to accept the 2023 SRC Disability, Employment, and Inclusion Entrepreneur Recognition Award. I'd like to say thank you first of all to God for blessing me with perseverance, my wife and family for supporting me throughout this process, and of course the SRC for accepting my nomination. The thought of winning anything in the entrepreneurship category is still baffling to me. I aspired for many years to make a living at something I loved to do and was passionate about. I felt that life was too short to not devote my time to something I enjoyed. As a young man, I was always very enthusiastic about firearms and mechanical devices. So with that, I went to the Marine Corps and they gave me the firearm knowledge. I went to Southeast Community College, which gave me the machining and the mechanical knowledge. And recently, going to Nebraska VR, I now have the business knowledge. I love the challenges that go along with being a gunsmith. It can be anything from a 150-year-old part or gun that needs new parts, customizing something, and it's an amazing feeling when you can help people out while doing something you enjoy. The staff at Nebraska VR were very thorough at helping me make a business plan. Without that business plan, it would have been very difficult to go to run life alongside a business at my residence. So I'm very thankful for that. We did a feasibility study, which allowed me to get an idea of where my customers were coming from, if I would have enough customers to run a business. Nebraska VR, in conjunction with ATP, were able to get me some floor mats. They've been a huge part of keeping me busy and keeping my business going due to military injuries. They were able to get me a computer so that I could have some video conferences with customers while I'm working on their firearms, able to look up schematics, do some design work, program some CNC machines. So they've been huge as far as that goes. Once again, I'm honored to receive this achievement. It's been an incredible journey getting to this point, and one that I look forward to continuing on. Thank you.
My name is Elsa Hazlitt. Our business is Pioneer Animal Clinic, and I am the office manager. Pioneer Animal Clinic was awarded the 2023 SRC Disability, Employment, and Inclusion New Business Partner Recognition Award. It has been an unexpected honor. It has been really important to us to be able to provide experience and an opportunity to help improve life skills and work skills in a real life setting, to be able to also make a difference in that person's life. I was approached by a VR staff member at the beginning of the year. He explained what the program was, what it did, and what it entailed. Let us know that there was quite a few students that were interested in this veterinary field. And then we were also invited to the job expo up at the college. So we kind of took it from there, where there was so much interest. It was really remarkable to see. And then we set up an interview and we took it from there. I think the most surprising part was probably not only how much interest there was in this veterinary field, but also the amount of resources the VR team was able to provide these students.
Hello, we are here in beautiful Scottsbluff to recognize the Pioneer Animal Clinic for their recent award for a new business partnership with Nebraska VR. We're so grateful for all of the businesses that we partner with and for the establishment of new partnerships and all they bring to support our mission. So we very much appreciate what you do, and thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Marcus Hancock, and I am a Workforce Initiative Manager with CVS Health.
Hello, I'm Melanie Kramer, and I am a Senior Workforce Initiatives Manager with CVS Health.
CVS was awarded the 2023 SRC Disability, Employment, and Inclusion New Business Partner Recognition Award. What it means to me to be recognized for this award is the fruits of my labor is paying off. receiving this award is a physical embodiment of just the education, the advocacy, and the passion that I personally I've put forth thus far.
And what it means to me to be recognized for this award is also that Nebraska VR sees the value in partnering with CVS Health to provide some of those career opportunities to their clients. It also shows that Nebraska VR is excited about growing the partnership from here and recognizes that our organization's purposes and values and goals are aligned. VR and business can come together to meet shared objectives for the good of the community. And at the end of the day, it comes down to the people, and we collectively value putting people first. I was approached by Nebraska VR by Mary Matuziak, and we initially discussed some potential opportunities to develop relationships with CVS stores throughout the state of Nebraska. Up to that point, they hadn't had much success locally. So we were able to connect and discuss available options, including providing work experiences, externships, and direct referrals for employment. We established affiliation agreements to place participants in some pre-employment programs. And we were also connected to Mary's team. So her team now works through our centralized process to get individuals connected to the local stores so that they can gain that hands-on experience to help them prepare for careers in retail as well as in pharmacy.
You know, as our partnership grew, I was really surprised with the passion and level of reciprocity that I received from Nebraska VR. When I'm looking to partner with other community-based organizations, I can sometimes act with an intense sense of urgency to partner because I care so much. Receiving that same level of energy in return was unique and a very great surprise. It was unexpected, but I just feeling that from the overall staff, from Mary, from you, Lindsay, from from Rich. I mean, everyone. I mean, that was a great shocker.
I came to realize just how connected the National Employment Team is and how they are open and willing to help create connections. So Mary was able to introduce me to her peer, Michelle Kreft, and we were able to re-engage a really meaningful relationship that has now opened up even more opportunities for us in the state of Iowa as well. So I was pleasantly surprised by Nebraska VR's openness to connecting us and also generally to our process. So like any large enterprise, there are some hoops to jump through when it comes to establishing a program. And Mary and her team were fully supportive and dedicated to helping us get the program off the ground.
I realized we benefited by partnering with Nebraska VR because I can actually see that the accommodations that are being made from having a business need and then you all, Nebraska VR, kind of bridging the gap to the community need. So the biggest realization is seeing that being facilitated by our partnership. So that for me, that's what really hits home.
We see many benefits to partnering with Nebraska VR. Providing pre-employment training in our stores also helps prepare individuals for careers, which can of course contribute to our talent pipelines. And we also find that our local leaders feel more motivated and engaged when they learn what CVS Health is doing in the disability space. Also, we know that retention rates are much higher for these individuals. So ultimately, it is the right thing to do, number one, but it also makes good business sense for us.
If the organization or whoever is looking, to seek reciprocity and in a fashion to where they have a passion in diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility, and also have a passion with, giving back to a community that's typically overlooked, then you need to partner with Nebraska VR as soon as possible.
Yeah, if I were to speak to a business who had not yet partnered with Nebraska VR, I would definitely tell them that they should fully consider it and that they would have a great team to work with, a team that understands the importance of looking at both the business and community needs, like Marcus said, and providing opportunities to individuals of all abilities, just generally speaking, helps diversify the workforce, shows the company's commitment to diversity and contributes to retention. So this is a great organization to work with, and it's definitely going to benefit your people and your business.
Hi, my name is Becky Mazer and I am the manager co-owner of Alliance Grocery Cart. Alliance Grocery Cart was awarded the 2023 SRC Disability Employment and Inclusion Small Business Recognition Award. I take pride in the opportunity I was given with working and done with the Alliance Grocery Cart, and it is humbling to be given an award like this. I was contacted by Holly and asked if I wanted to start the program. She would communicate with me and we would start with a student or a client, and they would come in, we would have a small interview and we would discuss what I kind of wanted needed done, and then we would go forward and they would come in and they would learn the job skills. We've also had a group come in, we toured the store and they would see what different jobs there were, and we just kind of kept moving forward with that process. Nebraska VR has offered us the ability to have clients come in and learn their job skills, so that if the process goes farther and we are offered the chance to hire the clients, they already have the job skills that we don't have to take the time out of our schedule to retrain, so that we can go right into the jobs and go further in our process. It was encouraging to find out that there were so many clients that wanted to come to work at Grocery Cart, and I have found with the different ones that have worked here how much they have grown and the aspects of the jobs they have learned so quickly, and wanting to learn more of the jobs, and we have grown in that aspect. I would encourage businesses to partner with Nebraska VR. If you're looking to fill your workforce, this is a great asset, as the clients come in, they learn their job skills, and they can further their career at your employment.
Hello, we're here in Alliance, Nebraska with Becky, and we're here to recognize the Alliance Grocery Cart as the SRC's Small Business of the Year Award. So we want to thank you, Becky, and Alliance Grocery Cart for all you've done in your partnership with Nebraska VR and to help individuals with disabilities. So please accept this award on the behalf of the SRC, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Todd Ludwig and I'm the Talent Acquisition Manager at the Nebraska Department of Transportation.
My name is Carol Gasper. I'm the Accident Record Supervisor at the Nebraska Department of Transportation.
What it means for me to be recognized for this award is just confirmation that I work for a really great organization. From the get-go, when I started partnering with Nebraska VR, our hiring managers at Nebraska Department of Transportation were always very open-minded and embraced the opportunity to partner, and we're very excited about the opportunity. So for me, it's just a sense of pride in where I work, that it's a very inclusive and collaborative work environment.
Well, I want to say that it's been an honor to be recognized for this award, and I've enjoyed working with everybody with Nebraska VR, and I totally agree with what Todd said.
My first experience with Nebraska VR was back in 2017, and it was regarding an on-the-job training experience that we had at one of our district mechanic shops. Shortly after that, I met with Cassie in Kearney from the Nebraska VR office in Kearney, and she and I spoke about expanding our partnership statewide in regard to doing more on-the-job training experiences and work-based learning experiences, and that's where our partnership really started to grow and develop. As our partnership grew, I was really surprised by how easy it was to make these connections. The team at Nebraska VR was always very responsive. They listened to what our needs were, and they did a great job of finding us individuals who really met those needs. Similarly, our partners at Nebraska Department of Transportation, our managers who needed the people to fill the positions, were very cooperative and very responsive about making this happen as well. We have really benefited with our partnership with Nebraska VR. In a tough job market, it's nice to have a pipeline of candidates who are committed and loyal to the position that they take with us, and Nebraska VR has been really instrumental in helping us find really great people. Since I've started partnering with Nebraska VR, we've placed people in our districts, we've placed people in multiple divisions here in Lincoln, including our traffic engineering division, our roadway division, our right-of-way division, our materials and research division, our business technology support division, and our operations division, and maybe more, but those are the ones that come to the top of my mind.
I realize that we benefited by working with Nebraska VR to provide opportunities for individuals with disabilities when we received a staff willing to learn our accident reporting system and to help us get caught up when we were so far behind.
If I were to talk to another business that has not yet partnered with Nebraska VR, I would encourage them to call Nebraska VR today. They're responsive, they're professional, they listen to our needs, and they're very good at finding us talent, which is a good match for our open opportunities.
If I were to speak with another business who has not yet partnered with Nebraska VR, I would tell them that there are a lot of people out there who are just looking for a chance to show their worth, to prove to you and to themselves what they are capable of.